education director. During my time there, until it closed in May 2012, I became very familiar with all of the programs that Children's Aid had to offer, aside from my own program. One of those programs being the after-school program headed by Antonia and Omar. As a mom of two sons, both my husband and I, who was also a teacher at Children's Aid, and we needed after-school care for our boys. Not only was the after-school program convenient for us to utilize, but it was also very enriching, filled with classes such as cartoon art, kids lab, cooking, and woodworking. Throughout their time with the after-school program, both of my boys enjoyed classes such as basketball, soccer, pottery, basketball, there you go, and kids club, where they can get help with homework and were introduced to awesome board games from our very own childhood. What were some of your board games that you played?
Or some marble game thing.
Chinese chess.
Mancala.
Chinese chess.
So they got to play Chinese checkers.
Checkers,
Yeah, okay. And so my family loved the after-school program so much, in fact, that my husband became the basketball coach. At the end of each day, I found it so difficult to pull both my sons and husband over after school. Omar, you can attest to that. It was like 6:30, everyone's tapping the watch, and no one wants to leave, but it was so much fun they were having. When Children's Aid closed in 2012, it of course impacted both my husband and me because of the decrease in the income, naturally. But in addition, our sons, who were then 9 and 6, were devastated. The place they had known since birth was literally being torn down. All of the programs they had grown to love were being taken away, and people who they considered to be an extended family were being divided and dispersed. The summer of 2012, our household was filled with questions from our sons asking, where are we going for after school in September? The idea of starting something new was very scary for them and for us as well. We looked around for many programs that would be fitting for our children, but what we found were programs that were subpar to what we were used to or way too expensive for two out-of-work parents to afford. In September, I remember how excited I became when I received a phone call from Omar informing me that he had left the world of banking. I don't know what he was thinking with the banking thing. To return to after school, along with Antonia and the entire program that my children and my husband and I had known and come to love. After school had a new home at Greenwich House. And the icing on the cake was that our family qualified for tuition assistance as we struggled to get our household financially stable once again. Since the new school year has begun, my boys have been back with all their wonderful after-school teachers and friends that they had become close to over the years at Children's Aid. Aside from the new building and a few extra stairs, it's a lot of stairs, the transition to a new location has been seamless to my sons. And now with activities such as the walkover, which is pick up from their school and walking over to Greenwich House, basketball, soccer, and kids lab, all is well with my children's world. And we are back to pulling them out of after school every day with them begging for 5 minutes more. I thank, my family and I, we thank Omar and Antonia for continuing the vision of a wonderful after-school haven for children. And we especially thank Greenwich House and the Board of Directors for allowing this program to continue and for providing hundreds of families with uninterrupted service. Together, you all have filled a void that had almost seemed impossible to replace, and my family and I are forever grateful.